Go Ellsworth is made possible in part by American Family Insurance agent Caleb Schultz, Payton's Place, Coach and 4, Ellsworth Steakhouse, Pizza Hut, Sites Drug, Robson's Card and Gift Shop, Millwood Realty, Anita Hoffines, DeBrava Woodworking Incorporated, Canopolis Tire and Alignment Incorporated, Smoky Hill Lawn and Landscaping.
Hi, this is Carol Crosser with the Ellsworth Canopolis Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is the Ellsworth Did You Know? And today we're here at Gene's Heartland Foods, and we're with Jeff Goss. Thank you. And I think I said his last name, it's Goss. Wrong. But Jeff is here to show us some changes that have been going on with Gene's, and they've really, I want to say, stepped up their game and really helped us in the community. So Jeff, let's talk about some of the things that precipitated this change.
Well, first of all, with some competition coming in next door, across the street, we had to figure out some new avenues for us. And then with Walmart Alco going out of business, that opened up some avenues for some different products that we didn't carry here in the store. So we decided to do some remodeling and moving some things around to make space for some items that we didn't carry in the past. And one of the things that we did up front here was we added this produce case. We pulled out our old ones that, if anybody remembers correctly, went all the way the length of the wall here, but it just had one level on it. So what we did is we put in this 5-deck case here that essentially carries the same amount of product, but it takes up less space. So in doing that, we were able to pull this case from behind back up forward where the orange juice is now, and we've created a seating area behind there for people to sit down and eat from the deli.
And honestly, this looks like you carry so much more. Even though it's everything that you used to carry, it looks like you've got so much more.
Yeah, actually we do, because the case was so much longer that we ended up taking this case from another area of the store. This actually used to be the cheese case that we moved up here. So the variety is still the same, and we can, bring in even more. We've got plenty of space. So that was our goal, was to take up less space but maintain the variety.
Yeah, and I was excited this morning that I had a few minutes to actually look at some of the things that you had. So I noticed you have cherry concentrate, so I need that for my kolaches so I can make my filling. And
yeah.
Saw you got my garlic, and so some of that stuff's great.
And we do, and of course seasonally with produce we bring in different seasonal products, and right now we don't have a lot of the soft fruit, the berries, that kind of stuff that's more of a spring and summer, but it changes throughout the seasons.
So we're in the deli section, and you've redone this a little bit. You want to talk about what we've done here?
Yeah, again, as I was telling you before, by moving these cases around a little bit, we've created a seating area back behind over here, which is something that we tried to utilize the patio previous to moving these cases. But as you know, in Kansas, as windy as it is, there wasn't a whole lot of days that were available for people to sit out and enjoy the weather on the patio. So we brought that seating inside for people. But then we also brought in the full-service deli case again, which we had when we first opened up, and then kind of went away from that, went to grab and go, and now we're back to the full-service deli. We have daily specials every day for lunch. Our smoked meats we do 3 times a week, so we're still doing the barbecue and the smoked meats. But we have Karen back here now that's doing a wonderful job for us in the deli and creating some really good meals for us.
And I love that you guys put the menu in the bags so that we can keep a track of what's going and what's coming. And
yeah, and that's really worked out well for us. I know she does a Chinese day, and we tried to pick a day that the Chinese restaurant was closed so that if somebody wanted Chinese on that day, they were able to come in here. And she'll change that up monthly. As we're getting into the fall season, she'll start bringing in some more soups and comfort foods for the colder weather, and so that'll be to come later on down the road.
Well, and it's a great alternative to maybe fast food at lunchtime or for supper. I love coming up at the end of the day and getting your chicken and your mashed potatoes and gravy. My family just adores it. So.
Sure, and that's what the grab and go in the evening does for us, is to have fresh chicken available, rotisserie chicken, those kind of things. But people can still just get a single meal if they want to at that time too. So.
Great addition, thanks. So we've moved to the other end of the store and we're in the meat department. And a few things have changed down here. We've moved cheese over here, right?
Correct. We had to make some room in the far corner of the store, so we've kind of split dairy up a little bit, moved the cheese over here with the deli department, which it's a perfect fit with the deli. So now we have our cheese over here in the deli section and kind of right in here with the meat department as well. We haven't made a lot of changes in the meat department, but what we have done is we started doing our own handcrafted meats. We have some different varieties of hamburger patties, brat patties. He does some sausages, and we actually have a ham that they're making themselves back here and seasoning it and curing it. So we're developing some things that's different that you can only get here at Gene's. So just a different variety for people to try.
Well, and you did say you had a meat cutter. So like if I bought a ham, I could get it sliced or cut.
Sure,
here.
Yeah. We've usually got somebody in here from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7, 8 o'clock in the evening that's available to do those things. They can, if you have a steak you want cut a certain way or something like that, or especially ham shaved and that kind of stuff, yeah, we're more than happy to do that stuff for you.
Perfect, that's a great thing. So now we've moved to the middle of the store, and Jeff, we were talking about how you've kind of squished everything this way, and how were you able to do that?
Sure, that was something that, like I said, we needed to generate some space on the other side of the store. So in this area, this was some of the area where we did some of our condensing. We moved some cases down, took out some frozen food cases that were right along behind me here, and we moved in and put the eggs and the biscuits and butter and that in this case. And we had to move the milk case down as well. So over on the side over here, we actually moved the whole fill behind cooler that sits in the back room and just slid that whole thing from one side of the doors to the other. And then we cut out about, probably 2 aisles of groceries. And basically how we went about doing that was we went through our movement reports over the last year or so, and took out the slow movers, and we found out that we had a lot of items that really weren't generating a lot for us. So we moved those items out of the store, and that created some space. So typically most of the best-selling items that we have, we didn't reduce anything on those. So people are still able to get pretty much the same variety that they were able to get beforehand.
And if you took something that I dearly love and want back, what will you do for me?
I will look it up, see what we can do, bring that product in. A lot of that stuff, if it was a really slow mover, we'll bring it back in, try it again, because there are some people that had a few items that maybe only 1 or 2 people in the community bought. Just come to us here at the store. We'll try to get it back in for you. And as long as we're selling it, then that's not a problem. If for some reason I can't sell it and I have to discontinue it, if it's still available, I can always order it in for someone by the case if they want to buy a case of it.
Yeah, you're always great that way.
Yep, we don't have any problem looking up any item. If we can get it for you, we'd be happy to.
And that goes for stuff that maybe you haven't carried in the past, but I'd like you to check into.
Anything, because a lot of times there's some new items that come out that maybe we don't see, that someone's in a bigger city or something where they see an item that they want. We'll sure check into that, see if we can get it, bring it in, and sometimes that helps us out as much as it helps the community out, because it's an item that more people were wanting than just the one person.
So now I'm going to ask the question as a shopper, are we done moving things around?
For the most part. On the grocery side of things, this part of the store is pretty much done. So The only thing, the new area that we've added that we'll see here in a little bit, we're still working through some product mixes and different things there to see what we're going to do as far as that goes. Some things may come and go in there, but this part of the store is pretty much going to stay the same. So
yeah, grocery shopping is one of those things that you get into the, I'm not a writer of lists. I'm usually a keeper of lists, and so my list goes by the way the store is set up.
Sure.
And as you guys were changing, my frustration level at grocery shopping was higher and higher and higher, because I'd go and then I get at the end and I didn't get da-da-da. So
yeah, we brought this store in 2006 is when they moved up to this location. And I don't think, we had done some resets in here over the years, but never moving total aisles. So that really confused a lot of people, because it's been the same way for 8 years or whatever. And now all of a sudden, what was on aisle 3 is now on aisle 2, and so yeah, that made for some changes.
Well, and I appreciated it being in a smaller market, because you don't move it quite as often as, say, Dillon's and Salina does, because they move theirs once every 6 to 8 weeks to try and get you to find new things. And
sure, we find out that sometimes that benefits us, having people look for things, because they do see some things that maybe they hadn't seen in the past, because they get used to where everything's at. But I think the frustration level outweighs the people looking around and being happy, because it gets a little frustrating trying to find something. Even us that work in the store are looking for things that, well, where did we put this? I forgot where that was. So
yeah, I know when you were at the height of moving everything around, and I asked somebody where something was, she goes, or I went to check out, she's like, where did you find that? So it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
So we moved to the further corner of the store, and we are now in your newest section. And this is Gene's.
This is Gene's Guns and Ammo. And if you remember right and you're familiar with the store, this used to be the dairy cooler. So this was full of milk, and the cooler set behind, and we moved that down, took the space, put this gun room in. So now we have pistols, we have shotguns, we have rifles for all the guys out there that are hunting and so forth. Just have a lot of variety in here in the guns and ammo. We've got most calibers of ammunition, shotgun shells. Again, like the rest of the store when we were talking before, anything that we don't have, if someone comes in and wants a certain gun, wants a certain ammo that we don't carry, more than happy to check and see what it is, get you a price, see if you want it, then we can order it in for you. Ammunition is pretty simple. Guns are one of those things that, if you want a specific gun, we'll get you a price, and then if you want it, we'll order it in for you. So
you also have bow and arrows over here too.
We do. We have some compound bows, or not compound bows, excuse me. We have crossbows. We didn't get into the compound bows because they're so intricate as far as tuning those and that. You really have to have someone that has a lot of knowledge to do the crossbow or the compound bows. So we just got the crossbows. Pretty much anybody can work on those. So we didn't, like I say, get into the rest of the archery. We do have broadheads and that kind of stuff for the bow hunter. We just don't do the bows and the stringing and all that kind of stuff.
Now I want to take a minute and talk about these big guys behind us up on the wall.
Well, the guys up behind us here, those are all mounts that our owner, Gene, when he was alive, he was a big game hunter, went all around the world and shot a lot of big game. So they brought a few of these down from the office for us to put in here. And it's kind of nice because it kind of lets us all remember Gene a little bit whenever we look at those. So those are kind of neat, and there are some conversation pieces for people as they come in, because a lot of those, some of these you can't get in the United States that were shot, in Africa and other places. So.
Yeah, I was just talking to you about my trip and saw that guy, well, not that particular one, but his cousin's alive in Alaska last month. So yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think he would really like this area for us back here. Our owner, James, his son that owns the store now, he's a big hunter and likes guns and hunting. So we decided, with Alco going out of business and no one really in town having sporting goods, hunting, fishing, we decided that would be an area that we could tap into, have some stuff for people so they didn't have to go out of the community to get it. And that was our main focus in a lot of what we did over here, was trying to fill a void in town that was left when Alco left. So we're trying to fill that void. I know there's items that we don't have that people may want. If there's anything that we can do, this is going to be a work in progress, probably over the next year or so, just seeing what people want, what they don't want, and we'll switch some things out, maybe bring some new things in, and just try to get that mix of what the community needs and what they want.
And this is a great service for all those hunters that come in and spend their tourist dollars here. They could get it here and not have to drive to Salina or
For sure, there's
else.
a lot of people that come in from out of town that may stay here in town that, beforehand we didn't have anything for them. They'd have to go out of town or someplace or have a very limited supply. So we tried to take up the supply, have a little bit more fishing equipment here, have more hunting, just try to fulfill everybody's needs that were in town, that they would be able to take care of that here.
Perfect. Okay, so we moved to one of your newest sections, and let's talk a minute. We've got small appliances here, right? And then kitchen stuff.
Kitchen gadgets.
And then some hardware stuff.
Correct.
And then kids and games.
Some toys and games.
Sheets and towels. Some of the things that we've lost.
Correct.
Because of Alco. So let's talk a little bit about the small appliances.
Okay. What we did over here was we brought in a section of small appliances, which is, something that we figured with Alco leaving that was a need for the community. So we brought in 12 foot. We don't carry everything. We try to carry the basics. We have some lower end and higher end. We carry some KitchenAid things, and we carry some Ninjas and that kind of thing, but we also carry the lower end of the Proctor Silex and those. So we try to cover all the varieties of what the needs are in the community. We brought in some microwaves. We brought in some pots and pans, some dishes, some towels, sheets, those kind of things. With Alco going out of business, we really felt a void in the community with a lot of those things. And we've created a small area here we can bring some things in. We'll never have the space to bring in what they had over there, but if we can just hit a few of the basic needs of people that need some sheets for a guest bed or something, or some towels or kitchen towels and those type of things that you don't have to go out of town for. Some people in the community can't go out of town.
Exactly.
So we need to try and have as much of those kind of things available for them here. So that's kind of was the philosophy in doing this, was to fill those voids. Like I said, the small appliances has done pretty well for us. We brought in some kitchen gadgets. That's a new section that we used to have, just that little 4-foot section of some lower end, and we brought in some of the higher end, not necessarily higher end, but just some colorful, neat, different things that we didn't have in the past. That'll give us some variety of those kind of things. We've also just recently, here in the last week or so, put in some toys and games, something that we're going to build on. That one's still a work in progress. That's probably been the hardest thing with doing this whole remodel, is sourcing all the products that we've been bringing in. So that takes us some time to go through and find out where we can buy these things from and get the variety of things that we need.
And I love that you got the collapsible things. I looked at some of those. Those are really neat. Now, what if I come in and you don't have something that maybe I'm interested in?
Again, like I've said throughout the store, that's something that there's a lot of those available from where we buy. If someone wants a particular mixer, blender, food processor, just come in, let us know what you want. We'd be more than happy to look it up in the catalog and give you a price and order it in for you. There are so many things out there, but with the limited space that we have, we just can't bring everything in, but we would like to bring those products in for people if they need them.
Great. And that's a service that I think a lot of our people don't realize that they can do.
They don't. We've had our few over the years, people that have always known that if there's something that they want, they'll just come and ask us. But I just think our average customer probably doesn't realize that there are things available that we can get for them, and that we'd be more than happy on some of the things. Some of the things, we can, of course, unless you want to buy the whole case, because
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't have the space to bring in that many things. But if somebody has a need for something, we'd be more than happy to talk about it.
Great. All right, so we've just about completed our tour of the store, and we're in your newest section, clothing.
Yeah. Clothing is something that's something, again, that we talked about that is really a need in the community. The only problem with clothing is we're a bunch of grocery store guys trying to figure out how to sell clothing and get into the fashion world. So it's kind of been a little slower process for us, finding places where we can source the clothes and getting the right mix, because we, again, like we talked, we don't have the space to carry everything, so we kind of have to limit it to jeans and tops and those kind of things. Probably not going to do a lot formal dress shirts, dresses, that kind of stuff, although we may try that at some point. But right now we're kind of in the jeans and tops, and just kind of your casual wear is kind of what we're looking at. But we went from this is what our clothing section used to be, is this one little rack, to now we have, quite a few other things. We're opening up the room that used to be our video. We put in it's not a red box, but it's similar to a red box, kiosk on the video. So now we still have all the video rentals available. It's just out of a kiosk machine. So that freed us up all the space over there to put in clothing. So what we've done there is that's going to be our kids section over there, which is still a work in progress. We've still got some decorating to do, and of course source some kids clothing and that sort of thing. So we're really looking forward to getting into that, and again, we're just going to look to source that out.
You have underwear and jeans and t-shirts and winter jackets right now, and sweatshirts, and then you have a whole section just for kids.
Yeah, the section for kids, we haven't got a whole lot in there yet. It's kind of minimal because we're still looking for sources on where to buy, and frankly trying to figure out what to buy.
Yeah.
Because again, we want to fulfill the needs of the community, so we want to get, for the amount of space that we have, we want to get the right items in there. So again, this will be a work in progress. We're trying some different things. If it doesn't work out, we're just buying different things. But we've got men's and women's, and of course kids. Pretty much we go from small to 2X on most things. It's kind of our size range. So we don't have a lot of plus sizes. But again, we'll look at that, and we'll look in those areas, and if there's a need for something that we're not carrying, again, if people let us know, like right now I don't have sweats. I think that's something that someone has mentioned. So we're going to look into bringing in a line of sweatshirts and sweatpants and those kind of things.
See, this is another place where the community to tell you what they need and help you that way.
Yeah, because that's our goal, is to help the community. And of course, we want to supplement kind of what we've lost, but to help the community out at the same time. And we don't want to bring in things just to bring them in. We want to bring them in because that's something that's a need that people are maybe going out of town for, that they would like to see it here. And like I said before, there are a lot of people that can't go out of town. So we need to try and see what we can have available for them so that they can stay in town.
So bottom line is, your store, you need to be profitable, but you're here for the community too.
Correct. And again, I think if you want to take anything away from this is we're here to listen and to help. So, a lot of the stuff we've done, we've kind of made the decisions, we've listened to people. There may be some things that we're totally missing, and if that's the case, we'd be happy to talk to people about what we can do. Again, like I said, it has to be something that's feasible for us to do at the same time. But this side of the store is not going to be set in stone. It's probably going to be rotating in some different items, some things that aren't moving. We talked a little earlier about the hardware that we brought in. We brought that in kind of in the transition when Alco was going out of business, or went out of business, and they were transitioned, didn't know if it was going to be a Shopko coming in or Orscheln's coming in. So at that time they were thinking Shopko was going to come in, so they bought some hardware things, and we're going to kind of go along the farm supply and hardware type of thing. With Orscheln coming in, that spun us in a whole nother direction, so we have some hardware things that we will probably eventually be working out of and then working some other stuff in. So then when Alco or Shopko didn't come in, then that opened up that variety, which is the clothing, the toys, sporting goods. We've got bicycles now. So those items actually lend themselves better to the grocery store environment than farm goods and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a good thing for us, a good thing for the community. It's going to take some time to build. I think our biggest thing is people being aware that we carry things. So if there's something you're looking for and you don't know, if you can find it anywhere in town, give us a holler, give us a call, come on in and check. And you never know, you might be able to find it at the grocery store.
Exactly. You know, the bottom line of this is shop local and win. If you don't see it, ask. They could get it in for you. This is Carol Krotzer with the Ellsworth Canopolis Area Chamber of Commerce. Did you know? And we've been at Jean's Heartland Foods today.
Go Ellsworth is made possible in part by American Family Insurance agent Caleb Schultz, Payton's Place, Coach and 4, Ellsworth Steakhouse, Pizza Hut, Sites Drug, Robson's Card and Gift Shop, Millwood Realty, Anita Hoffines, DeBrava Woodworking Incorporated, Canopolis Tire and Alignment Incorporated, Smoky Hill Lawn and Landscaping.